When I first set out to make this series, I really had envisioned that we would not only like dabble in all sorts of types of lagers, I also kind of envisioned that we'd maybe almost create new types of lagers that weren't really a thing. Like, you know, maybe we would make like a oat lager or, you know, something like that. And I think I was just kind of like, you know what if we just totally bastardize this and do something different.
So with this one, with the brew date that we were looking at, we knew that this beer was going to be dropping in early fall, so that immediately took us to a toasty, malty lager. And talking with Andrew from Haus Malts, he had been working on some caramelized malted oats that I've been doing some experiments with back at our shop. So we decided to make a sort of Marzen Vienna inspired beer with some caramelized malted oats from Haus, as well as some Triticale from them, which is a hybrid of wheat and rye.
Andrew Martas from Haus Malts up in Cleveland, Ohio. We've had our first production batch January 1st of 2016, and we've been in business since. Out of this beer, what it's gonna taste like, you know, that's the fun thing about this series is I don't know the last time that someone used malted oats in a Marzen, so it'll be interesting to see how it comes out.
So Brad Clark, our director of brewing operations, is a big record head, and when Tim mentioned the Ambient Terrain series, Brad immediately started thinking of ambient music and brought up one of his favorite albums, In a Silent Way by Miles Davis. Sort of a jazz fusion album, just starting to bring in some electronic elements to jazz.
So he mentioned this album and just his kind of like affinity for it. Not only the name of the beer, but the name of the style, and then like the art direction is all kind of tied to that album in some way.
After some ping pong and some emails back and forth, we landed on calling it a fusion lager, sort of a nod to jazz fusion, as well as fusing American ingredients with old school lager styles and sort of making something distinct with its own purpose.
And when that album came out, it was really like controversial, I guess, to some degree. People that kind of expected a certain thing from him were like taken aback by it, and then it also had more of this like rock sensibility, but then like the rock world didn't really get it either, so it was kind of like this weird middle ground in between these two popular styles. And I think it definitely applies to what we're doing here with Ambient Terrain, in the sense that it's like, all right, so we're making lager beer, which has like this really long-standing history, and I think with Ambient Terrain we're kind of trying to pay homage to that in a way, but to kind of flip it a little bit and use American ingredients and change up the processes a little bit and just kind of present it in a new and unique way.